New rumored sci-fi RPG coming to Xbox. Everwild's lead designer says it's something the world has never seen before. Stadia is coming to Xbox. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another Major Ben video. And how are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is nearly the weekend. I do want to say that if you do enjoy these videos, please do consider dropping a like down below because it really does help me out. And if you've enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing as well to keep up with the latest and greatest Xbox and general console gaming news. I'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into this video here today because we have some really awesome topics to discuss. So a new sci-fi RPG, huh? Sounds pretty interesting, right? Well, apparently, according to a new Xbox Series X/S report, Microsoft has secured another exclusive title for the next-gen consoles. Microsoft is reportedly working with From Software, you know, the developer who's worked on games like Dark Souls, Sekiro, Bloodborne, and many others. So this report comes from Miles Dompierre of Windows Central, who says he's heard a rumor of a collaboration between From Software and Microsoft. The new game would be an exclusive to the Xbox Series X and S to help rival and corner the market on the next-gen exclusives. Now, From Software, as we all know, is actually a Japanese game developer, which is really interesting because we know that Microsoft is trying to get their foot in the door in that kind of market in those areas of the world. We know that Sony tends to dominate them quite a lot. They're really trying to get their foot in the door in these markets and help corner Sony a little bit here and really spread across the whole world of where Microsoft are trying to aim to sell their consoles. So this would be a really big step in the right direction for Microsoft here. From Software is currently working on the upcoming Elden Ring title as well, which is an action RPG that will be published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. This is already set to be released for all systems, so PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC and everything, but it would be awesome to have this developer as an exclusive dev to Xbox and see all these fantastic games coming to Microsoft's platform. As we all know, Microsoft has been building up their exclusives and really are going to push these kind of brand new exclusives that we're going to be getting this generation. So we're going to have some absolutely incredible games over the years to come on the Xbox platform. So this is all really exciting here, but let's get on to the next topic for today. So this next topic here today is a comment from Everwild's lead designer. So Rare announced Everwild during an Xbox presentation last year, and we haven't really found out that much about this game yet, to be honest. So James Blackhawk shared a post on LinkedIn about the upcoming game and had some very big things to say about it. He claimed that it is something the world doesn't have and something that we have never seen before. So we have no idea what he's referring to here or what he means by this, but this doesn't look like it's just going to be some game that isn't, you know, it's a quick, you know, one and done and leave it and never play it again. It looks like it is going to be quite a special game here and something that we can all really look forward to. But of course, this could just be classic marketing, trying to, you know, boost sales and move more copies of the game by hyping it up. But I really don't think so. I mean, it's something that's been claimed on LinkedIn. Like, if you're going to post something like this, you'd want to post it on Twitter so everyone would see. So it does seem like he's just genuinely saying this is something that is different. This isn't our classic game. This is something that we've all got to look forward to. And it's not just going to be your bog standard game that you're going to be bored with after a couple of weeks. You know, this is going to be a really cool, interesting experience that we haven't had before in terms of gaming. So yeah, this game does actually look like it may have quite a lot going for it and might be something that's pretty interesting. So we'll have to see. Obviously, stay subscribed and I will be reporting on this as much as I can. So yeah, let's get into the next story here today. The PR manager of GSC Game World, which is the dev creating Stalker 2, is currently exploring mods on the Xbox version of Stalker 2. The PR manager became a guest on a podcast and had this to say. GSC wanted to make a sequel on the original X-Ray engine, but it is outdated. The developer sifted through other options for the actual engines, but settled on the Unreal Engine. So that's what they're going to be using for this next game. GSC calls mod support a priority and will try to implement it already in the released version of the game. The modding community is very important for developers. Support for mods on Xbox is actually being explored. So this is really important. Mods are great. Some of you guys probably hate them. Some of you guys probably love them, but they are fantastic. I mean, we've seen mods come into play with kind of future future generations as well. Like, for example, Fallout 4, although it is going to get native support on the Xbox Series X to boost it to 4K 60, it already has a mod that allows it to be boosted to 4K 60. So these mods actually potentially future-proof some games because people then have the ability to upgrade them themselves, essentially. He also said this: the life simulation system, A-Life, has become more meticulous and more detailed. All interactions between factions, monsters, NPCs will take place even while the player does not see it. A-Life 2.0 is a different level of performance. We'll pay enough attention closer to its release. It's a wildly cool system that works really well, and there will be something to show. Apologize if I butcher this guy's name, but Bocharov gave an example of a fight between wild boars, the consequences of which the player can see. He did not disclose that would really work at a new level. So for example, if you are fighting someone or a boar is fighting in the background, even if you're 100 miles away, that fight will still take place and still happen, which is so cool. The open world of the zone will offer a non-linear storyline with a huge number of branches and different endings. It is promised that the zone will match the scale of history. The single player mode is the main one in Stalker 2. So some really interesting stuff here. I love how it's a non-linear storyline with lots of different endings. I really hope they implement this well. I really love games like, for example, Until Dawn that had the butterfly effect kind of thing, which is kind of the proper first game to really incorporate this. I loved that, but I hope they kind of take this a little bit further with the campaign here, and rather than just a couple of characters surviving and a couple not, we actually get like a true different ending where you can play through them all, like Cyberpunk kind of thing. You get lots of different endings, you can play through different ones and really experience like a full story here of different variations of it. But yeah, I'm personally very excited for this game. It looks incredible and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I think they're really trying to push the biggest in-game world in a game ever, so it's just going to be incredible. I can't wait to see what this game is going to be like. So Xbox has been working on a new Microsoft Edge browser, and apparently this could bring Stadia access with it. Not sure why you'd want this, but you know, if you do and you're desperate for it, even though you're on the Xbox platform, you may have the option to get this in the future. So this new Microsoft Edge for Xbox will bring a more modern and hopefully less broken web browsing experience to consoles, because currently it is literally pointless. The web browsing on consoles is an awful experience, to put it politely. They're planning to support all the Windows Edge features like data syncing, extensions, and new vertical tabs. And then also this will bring more support to dozens of web apps that already work on Google Chrome based web browsers. So this could mean the ability to use services like Google Stadia. Whether Google or Microsoft actually allows this to happen though is a completely different story. I mean, Google wouldn't really lose a lot from Microsoft having access to it, but Microsoft, you know, probably doesn't want that. They want people to pay for their Game Pass, use their xCloud subscription, and not use Stadia. I mean, Stadia is dying as it is, so Microsoft isn't going to want to have anything that could potentially help it. To be honest though, who is really going to want this? Like, who goes out and buys an Xbox, buys Game Pass, has the xCloud streaming service, you know, with all these great games on Game Pass where you pay the monthly fee and never have to pay for it again, whereas you have Stadia where you pay a monthly fee, then on top of it you have to pay the full price for the game as well. It's like, who's actually going to want to buy an Xbox and use their Stadia like platform? That seems insane to me anyway. But let me know, do you guys have Stadia subscriptions? How many of you do? Like, let me know in the comments if you actually use Stadia. Then please do let me know, because I am yet to meet someone who actively uses Stadia as their daily platform. So onto our next story here, we actually have some Xbox controller problems. I mean, guys, seriously, what is going on with controllers these days right now? I had no problems with my PS4 controller or my Xbox One controller. In fact, I still have both the same controllers that I had from launch from the Xbox One and the PS4. They are fully functional, and yes, I played a lot of games on these platforms. So I'm not sure what's going on. I already have drift on my PS5 controller. My Series X controller is fine at the moment so far. I haven't had any problems, but apparently there are reports that some users have had controller issues already. But rather than the joystick drifting like the Sony and Nintendo controllers, people have reported that the actual buttons are having problems. In a new message given to the loadout, Microsoft has said that it is well aware of the problems that have been plaguing some Xbox controllers over the past few months. Microsoft had this to say: "At Microsoft, we put all of our products through rigorous quality assurance testing and are committed to providing customers with an unparalleled gaming experience." A representative from the company said, "However, when it comes to a potential fix at this moment, Microsoft says that it really doesn't have much to offer other than pointing customers to its support team. We are well aware some players may be be experiencing unresponsiveness with their new Xbox wireless controller, and our teams are actively working on a solution. The message continued: for the best experience, we encourage customers to visit Xbox support for assistance. So long story short here, the problems are coming from mainly the A, B, X, Y buttons here that are apparently being unresponsive at certain times. So although it's not like a red ring of death kind of issue like the 360 era, it's still a problem and still a teething issue we're experiencing with these next gen systems. Now, I haven't experienced any of this with my Series X controller at all at this time, but we'll have to see if this develops over time and if it's just a few people who potentially mistreated their controller or if it's actually a problem with the controller. I mean, I can't imagine this is a Microsoft mistake, as it's pretty much an identical controller to the Xbox One controller with a few updated features like the input delay being drastically reduced and the D-pad being changed. We will have to see what happens here. I mean, mine's been fine. The only problem I've had is general disconnections from the console, which I haven't seemed to have had since an update that's come, so again, we'll see how it develops. But other than that, right now, guys, there is not a lot to report on here today, but I do hope you really have enjoyed this video. I'm doing my best to bring the latest and greatest information on the next gen consoles here every single Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. UK time. So please do subscribe if you are enjoying these. Please do consider liking as well if you have enjoyed this video. But thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate every single one of you who supports my content, and I will see you in future videos. Bye bye for now.